Okay.
Okay. So welcome to the webinar on opportunities for students and faculties, early stage entrepreneurs, organized by Sri Sivasubramanian Nadar College of Engineering Institution Innovation Council. Okay. The webinar mainly focusing on the importance of seeking opportunities for entrepreneurship and how to find them, the way of generating ideas for your successful early stage entrepreneurship, and how to execute them to profitability. Now, we have a resource person, Mr. Suresh Balachandar, Senior Consultant, Athens Center for Excellence, Chennai. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Suresh Balachandar is a business coach, consultant for small business owners and entrepreneurs to train and help them to achieve profitability quickly. He has MBA in International Trade and Finance, 8 years of experience in psychology, 14 years in learning and development, and 20 years in running successful business. Founder and senior consultant of Athens Center for Excellence, has trained and coached more than 8,500 individuals in the age group of 14 to 45. He propagates the concept of learning, yearning, and networking. He provides the concept, inputs, ideas, and encourages the people to create their own business. Welcome, sir.
Now, thank you, sir.
On behalf of SSN Institution Innovation Council, you to deliver a talk on opportunities for students and faculties, early stage entrepreneurs. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
If you have a PowerPoint, you can share.
No, sir, actually, I would like to take this as a storytelling mode because there are two reasons. One, if I'm actually presenting a slide, people don't listen to the presentation and they think that they somehow I'll pass on this slide to them and they can catch up with the slides later. The second important point is actually it's very hard for people to look at the screen and hear me and understand what I'm trying to say at the same time. It's a very tedious process. So psychologically, it is not advisable. So either you go with slides with mute or you speak to the audiences. So I prefer speaking to the audiences in a storytelling mode. So I'd like to engage them via my storytelling rather than putting some boring slides in front of their eyes.
Okay, it's going to be a very nice experience for all of them. I kindly request all of them mute yourself, please. Hello.
Yeah, so somebody is actually still have not muted, so I'm waiting for them to mute themselves.
Okay, now it's okay.
Okay,
sir, you can start.
Hi friends, I'm Suresh Balachandar. I'm known as business coach of difference because I believe that the fastest way to amass a huge wealth is to do business in a very legitimate manner, and any business can be successful and profitable. Any business, no matter what, but it has to be actually following certain fundamentals and basics. So that is the main criteria for that. Okay, so let me give you a story. Let's take two people, Indrajit and Mahendran. Both has mastered the skill of sales. Let's say both have mastered the skill of sales and has mastered the skill of producing something of substantial value. So Mahendran, using his skill, gets placed in an organization as a sales manager, and he sells the products produced by the firm. And his salary is fixed of 25,000 rupees per month because he has to sell 50 products minimum in a month. Okay, so the product value is of 5,000 rupees. So total sale value he has to produce is 2,50,000 rupees. So 10% of that value is given as a salary, 25,000 rupees. Okay, so imagining because of his superior sales skill, Mahendran goes and sells 50 products, and guess what? He's able to sell 30 more units of the same thing at the same month. So what happens is 30, he has actually the target has been achieved at 50, and he has sold 30 more, so which he is now eligible for incentive. So what happens is for 30, for each piece, he's getting 10% of commission. So 500 into 30, that is going to be 15,000 rupees extra. So he's going to get a salary of 40,000 rupees. Okay. Seems a very reasonable amount and very good amount. I'm speaking about 1999, 98, 2000. Okay. So it's very, very fair amount to lead a happy life in those times actually. Indrajit, on the other hand, actually produces something of substantial value. He also sells rupees 5,000 per unit, what he has produced. And he also sells 80 units. Okay, 80 units in the same month. So now how much revenue he has got is he has got 4 lakh rupees. Assuming he has only 40% of profit. Okay, 40% of 4 lakh is, my friends, 1,60,000 rupees. So the same amount of knowledge and the same amount of skill which Mahendran and Indrajit had, they both took a different routes, and one person was able to make 40,000 and another person was able to make 1,60,000 rupees, which was four times better than what a person is actually able to achieve in working under somebody. So this is why I firmly believe the fastest way to amass wealth, a huge wealth in a very legitimate manner in a very short amount of time, is doing a business. Okay, so to understand what is business, we have to go back and look at history. Okay, the history has been divided into 3 areas of course, right? So first we have been hunter-gatherers, then we are an agrarian society, then we have become an industrial society, and service has become an extension of the industrial society, right? So let's leave about hunter-gatherer society. There is no much to talk about in terms of business and enterprise and entrepreneurship in that era of hunter-gatherers. Let's come to agrarian society. Okay, so in the agrarian society means people start to do agriculture. Okay, that's the first time where people have their own houses, and you will be amused to know the first house was built to store the harvest, not to sleep in. Actually, they used to store the harvest and the tools that were used to do the farming inside the house, and they used to sleep outside the house in a very, very early period of agrarian society. Okay, so people started doing agriculture, so they left this nomad lifestyle and started settling in groups. So that is how the cities and the urbanization has started. So what I'm trying to say is, do you know what is the way? What is the means by which, and in the agrarian society only, the concept of accumulating wealth was started. Okay, so do you have any idea how those times people accumulated wealth? Or for example, if there are people in the society, how one had more money or more wealth than other people in the agrarian society? Do you have any idea by doing what they would have got the more money? Anybody who actually want to answer can unmute themselves and answer me. Agrarian society is based on agriculture. They harvest and they take away the harvest and they live their life in a group. So that is called society. That is called a village. That is later transformed into urbans and it becomes cities. Now, in that setup, one person has got more money and more wealth than other persons. If that is the case, what would be the source of that wealth accumulation? Any idea? Guys, I want this to be an interactive session. No answer is a wrong answer because I'm presenting something very new to you. I totally understand that you have very little cue, but I want you to answer my questions and be interactive because that is how adults learn. So it's not. I specialize in learning and development also. So I know the only way an adult can learn is by engaging with discussions with people who know stuff, and you can actually harness your knowledge, how much ever little it is. By discussing, you can actually grow it up to the next level. So I want this to be an interactive section. So no answer is a wrong answer. Don't be afraid to give a wrong answer because every time you are actually addressing and giving a wrong answer, you are a step closer towards the right answer.
So contract farming, sir.
Yeah, hint, it has nothing to do with agriculture. Yeah, Rohit has said landlords who have agrarian business in more grounds. No, I mean, that's not the case. Will be amused when I say they amassed wealth due to wars. Okay, so what happened is wars was there even in the hunter-gatherer society, but those time wars were because they want to survive. One group of hunter-gatherers will be finding that the resources are scarce in where they live and they have to go to another area to find their food and water. When they migrate to another area, there will be another group staying there. So there will be a war between these two groups to whom that area belongs. So that war in the pre-agrarian society was for survival. Okay. Now in the agrarian society, people are very comfortable living in their houses. They are making their own rice or own meat, whatever it is. They are actually having a roof over their head to protect them from shine and rain. In spite of that, one human, I don't know where he got this idea. He said, okay, wait, let me do something weird actually. So I have some wealth, some money with me and some physical strength with me. Let me go and grab his wealth and take his wealth so that I can become more wealthy than anybody else. And the war in the agrarian society started for no reason. There was no survival threat also. So the only way the people became wealthy in the agrarian society was through wars, and that actually created a heavy enmity between two countries called as England and France. Do you know there are two types of drivings? One is right-hand drive, another is left-hand drive. You might be aware, right? We in India, Australia, and England are using right-hand drive, and people who are using in America, France, and other cities, even in Germany, are left-hand drivers. The steering will be on the left-hand side of the car. Do you know why? In India, it is very silly actually. Very, very silly. So what happened is there was a huge enmity between this England and France because of the wars, unnecessary wars that England and France were actually having upon each other. And France decided to do whatever the England is doing in the opposite direction. So the England people, when they invented car with the right-hand side steering, the French people started making cars with the left-hand side steering. Okay. So at one point of time, when people who are against England started following French model. So what happened in 1770s when America was struggling for their independence from the British, they copied French model of left-hand driving. Once America got to the superpower, other countries followed. So that is why we are having left-hand drive and right-hand drive. See, the simple, the process of war, unnecessary war, has left so much of confusion to people actually. So, have you ever drove a car? It's highly difficult for people to drive the left-hand side, left-hand drive actually. So it's impossible for you to actually have a focus, because actually what happens is you are using your right hand to control your gears and clutches. You are having only one your left hand, which is non-dominant hand on the steering. So it's very difficult for you to drive those cars. Why this unnecessary invention happened? Just because of the unnecessary wars happened on England and Britain, England and France. And do you know how people started to win wars? Because of mechanical engineering. I hope you are mechanical engineering students, right? There's something called ballistics. There's something called parabolic movement. So based on that, guns were invented. So when Galileo floated this idea taken from Newtonian, Newtonian physics developed from the Galileo's idea, and one England's lawyer developed a gun which is just called Puckle gun. So his name was James Puckle. So he developed the gun in 1718. So Einstein gave that in 1628 or 1688. I'm not sure of the year, but within 50 years of this Newtonian physics of this projectile and ballistics, what happens is gun was invented, and because of that, the arrow-shaped fort was built actually. So if you take the fort structure before that, it will be like a big wall. That's all. So if somebody is climbing the wall, I have to bend down and throw some stones on them, and at the same time I can be attacked. So when you are having this dome structure where you can hide behind the dome and attack the enemy, so these two structures, these two things, the invention of ballistics